Hi, hello my dear students. I heartily welcome you all in this session, our subject science and class 8th standard. In last class we have discussed about cultivation of crops. We'll move towards our next chapter, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. Dear students, you have seen several kinds of plants and animals. However, there are other kind of living organisms too, which we are also living together them. Is it so? Which we normally cannot see. They are called microorganisms or microbes. They are other living organisms around us. Yes, many other living organisms you might have seen. Is it? Many types of plants, many kinds of animals you might have seen. Is it? But some other living organisms around us which we normally cannot see with our naked eyes. These are called microorganisms or microbes. Micro, it's mean very small, very little, very small organisms and a living being. Is it? So micro, what is the meaning of micro? A very little, very thin, very small organisms which we normally cannot see with our naked eyes. Is it? These are called microorganisms or microbes. For example, you might have seen during rainy season a moist bread. If the bread is wet, it gets spoilt, and on the surface of that one gray color white patches will be there. So observe that patches with a magnifying glass. You will tell no lens. So you will see a small black round structures, black color round structures you have seen. So those structures, rounded structures, you will see black round structures. Do you know what these structures and where do these come from? Yes. So when the bread is spoiled, you observe carefully. There are small round structures will be there. So where do they come from? What are those? Those are nothing but actually microorganisms. Dear students, I will give you one small activity. Take few drops of water from the pond and spread on a glass slide. So you don't have microscope. If you are there in school, I might have shown you, but now it's not possible. But if you have lens, you can do it, this activity in your home. You observe a tiny organisms on that. Those are microbes or microorganisms in a small size, but they cannot be seen with the unaided eyes. So some of these, such as fungus that grows on a bread, can be seen with a magnifying glass. Only it's possible. On the bread there is one black color patches I told, no? So those are fungus that can be seen, but other microorganisms we cannot see without the help of microscope. So if when you will come to school, I'll show you. Some of these are fungus, and that is why these are called microorganisms, microbes, which we are seeing only which can see only from the microscope. So microorganisms are classified into 4 major groups. It is very important: bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae. These are 4 types of microorganisms. Some of these common microorganisms are, I'll show you here. Observe carefully. It is there in your textbook. Bacteria. These are bacteria. Algae. Algae, where we have classified into 4 groups. What are those? Bacteria, algae, fungi, protozoa, amoeba, paramecium. These are actually one-cellular, single-celled organisms. Amoeba and paramecium. These are example for protozoa. Here see, it is example for fungi. Bread mold, penicillium, aspergillus. These are some of the bacterial examples. Next point, viruses. Dear students, viruses are microscopic but are different from other microorganisms. They reproduce only inside the cells of the host organisms, which may be bacterium, plants or animals. I told you in a last class, host, you have learnt in your previous class, host organisms means they are living on other organisms, host organisms. So they reproduce only inside the cells on a host organ on which animals they are living, they reproduce there only. For example, bacterium, plants or animals. So these viruses, virus is a very common for because we are there in a home because of coronavirus, is it? So what is this virus? Here is it. These are viruses. Yes, they are living on a host organisms and they produce only cells on a host organisms. These are viruses. These viruses can cause diseases. Some common diseases: cold, influenza, flu. We will tell flu, cough. So these are common diseases which are caused by the viruses. Some serious diseases are polio and chickenpox. Polio and chickenpox are serious diseases which are caused by the viruses. Some other diseases like dysentery and malaria are caused by protozoa or protozoans. It is a virus. And typhoid and tuberculosis. TB. TB is a common word you might have heard. Someone is having TB, you might have heard this. So it is caused by bacterial diseases. These are bacterial diseases. Where do these microorganisms live? Microorganisms may be single-celled. These are single-celled like a bacteria. Some algae and protozoa or a multicellular. Multicellular means which have more cells. Single-celled means which have only one cell. One cell. Multicell means which have more cells. Yes, such as many algae and fungi, they live on all types of environment. However the environment may be, ranging from ice cold climate to hot springs and desert to marshy lands. They are also found inside the bodies of animals including humans. Yes, it is true. Some other microorganisms, some are living on our body. Yes. Some microorganisms grow on the organisms while others exist freely. So this is the microorganisms live everywhere in a whichever environmental condition. Hope you understand today's section. Homework. First one, what are microorganisms? Second one, write down the types of microorganisms. Give reason. Viruses are also microscopic but are different from other microorganisms. Fourth one, what are the diseases caused by the viruses? Fifth one, write a short note on coronavirus disease. Yes, it is also caused by a virus. So you have to draw a virus diagram and you just write a short note, some 5 to 6 points about coronavirus. You might have seen in news also and in newspaper also. You collect the information and write down this. Thank you.